Welcome back to The Truth and Love. My name is Josh. Once again, you probably know who I am because you probably seen this video. If you haven't, my name is Josh. This is a channel where we talk about inspiration, we inspire ourselves, we talk about culture, and we pretty much have a conversation about anything that's uplifting and encouraging and can, change your life. And so today we're hitting a video that I did before, and it's about a very heavy topic, one that we want to talk about, one that I want to discuss. Because I think it'll help somebody out there who might go through this in the future. I know it's going to help me in my future because I don't know what the future brings, and I might have to struggle with this disease at the same time. And so we're going to talk about cancer. This is Cancer Part 2. And this comes on the back of something major that happened in my life within the last couple of days with my father and his cancer struggle. And it was just a reminder to me that sometimes things don't have to get better for God to remain good, if that makes sense. What I'm learning through this process, me and my family, is that God is in control regardless of if the circumstance gets better. He's still in control. God is in control even when the storms in life get a little harder. He's still in control. When you can't see the beauty in the moment, God is still good. And I want to say that over and over again because there's somebody out there who's going through things, whether it's in your own life or with situations around you that are affecting you. And you're just looking at life and saying, man, I pray to God. I don't hear from God. I don't know what God's doing. I don't know if God's even real anymore. Why is he not showing up? Where is he at? And I can tell you this. And as I go, and I'm going through it, but as I'm going through it, I'm learning and finding peace in the fact that God is still good and he will always be good. I found myself in a place a couple weeks ago where I had to come face to face with the reality of what is going on in my life and in my family's life. And I'm not in control of any of it, but I found this place where I was so weak that I put literally all my trust in God. And I said, God, whatever your will is for this situation, I'm going to continue to tell people you are good no matter how bad it gets. And that's a place where I believe we all need to be. And I believe it's a place we all get to, and it all takes time. Like, it took a long time for me to get to this place. And I know I have a lot farther to go. But while dealing with this cancer, which is horrible. It's horrible. Radiation's horrible. Chemotherapy's horrible. The other things they give you to, survive, they're horrible. They don't, to me, they almost make it worse. That's just my honest opinion. They almost make it worse. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I feel like we've been through so much over the last 5 years that there's really nothing new that is really shocking us. And I might sound, hard-hearted. I might sound, a little bit distant from the situation, which that might just be a symptom of me trying to cope with it, which I'm being honest right now with the video. It might be me trying to cope with it. But in this situation, in this struggle that my family is having, I can only sit back and say, God is still in control and his will be done. And I wish I could jump into my father. I wish I could take the cancer even for myself so he didn't have to go through it. I wish my mom didn't have to go through it. I wish my sister didn't have to experience it. I wish you who's listening didn't have to go through it. But in saying that, we're going through it. And I would love to make a video saying that it's all green grass on the other side of it. It only gets better, but it doesn't always get better. Sometimes it gets worse. Sometimes you don't win. But in those moments where you're at your weakest, when you've lost and you don't quite understand it, are you still willing to rely on God? And I know I'm not going to get a lot of likes for this because there's a lot of people who are going to say, well, you can't just say God is good and make it all disappear. I would ask people, what else can I say? Yeah, things aren't bad. Yeah, things aren't great. Yeah, it's hard. But in the scheme of life, God has been good. My father was diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago, going on 6. He's lived a lot longer than doctors even expected, and I believe he'll live even longer than now. But if I can acknowledge the wins that God gave me in my past, the win that He's giving me in my present right now to spend time with my Father, I can't believe in the wins that God's going to give me in the future. And so what I'll tell you, if you're listening and you're doubting God in this situation because you just found out some bad news and you don't know why you got it, declare that God is still good. Declare that He was good, declare that He is good, and declare that He will be good in the future. And His good doesn't have to match the good that you think in your mind. See, I've put my trust in this verse that says God's ways are higher than our ways and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He is so far past us that no matter what we go through, no matter where we are, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad we feel, no matter the deepest and darkest place we go, that we're going to declare God is still good. And for me, it's scary to say that because we're going through this dark moment. The storms are going every direction. The winds are blowing. It's not easy. It's not even fun. And so if you don't understand what I'm saying, if you don't like this video because I'm saying God is good, start to say God is good, because it'll change at least your perspective. It won't change the situation. It won't change your pain. It won't change your hurt. You see, God, He weeps with us. He mourns with us. He feels what we feel. So those moments where I felt super dark, I felt super sad, super weak, I know that Jesus was there and He was comforting me because He felt the same pain I was feeling. And so in this moment of, I'll say darkness, moment of just struggle, I want to tell you who's listening to declare in your life that God is still good even in the bad times. Even in the marriage that's not working, God is still good. Even in the situation where the kid is just horrible and not listening, God is still good. Even in the bad diagnosis that you just received from the doctor, declare God is still good, because His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And if we can declare that in the storm, if we can declare that, we can say that when we're going through it, when we make it on the other side, there's going to be so much more power in the weight of our words, so much power in the weight of the miracle that God did. And like I said, His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. That miracle might not take place the way you see fit. It might not. Miracle might never happen. But can you sit back and say, God is still good? And that's my message right now when it comes to this cancer journey. Before, it's still the same feelings. We're still going through it. We still have our high days and our low days. But in this stage of my life, I can say I'm so thankful for the moments I've had with my dad and my mom and my sister and my family right now. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I can still experience them. They can still experience me in this present. In my future, wherever God leads, whatever happens, God is still good. So cancer part 2. If you're listening, if you don't believe in God, I want to tell you this. There's this God who loved you before you created. There's a God who loves you now. And there's a God who's going to love you in your future. And He will walk with you through the darkest moments of your life. He'll walk with you when you feel like there's nothing left. I've been there many times. I don't think I've been to the depth of my, darkness yet. I don't think I've been that low yet, but I've been 2 places where I've had to dig deep and say, Josh, you have to do what you were called to do. You have to get up. You have to work. You have to take care of your family. You have to, sometimes you have to shower. You have to get up, you have to brush your teeth, whatever it is. You have to do it. You can't sit in your sadness right now, Josh. There are still things to be done. And the reason why I say that is because when I talk about my father, I'm talking about a person who, regardless of his illness, regardless of his sickness, he still pushes through. And I say that because this past week he preached before he was admitted to the ER. And he did what he feels God called him to do. He got up to the pulpit in his weakness and let God be strong in him. And when he was done, he was done. And we took him to the ER. And luckily he now is out of the ER and we're still watching him. But it's just amazing to see how you can find strength in who God is, even at your weakest moment. So I'm not saying this to you out there who's saying that guy's just a guy who's just so positive. I'm not so positive. I'm actually a very real person. I'm a realistic guy. Like I said, I get angry, I get sad, I get mad, but in this, right now, in this moment, I'm saying right now in this moment, I say God is still good, God is still in control. And never find yourself abandoning God, because he will not abandon you. Even when you think he's not talking, he's talking. Even when you think he's not moving, he's moving. God still has your back. So who needs to watch who needs to share this? You. Share this with anybody who's going through anything, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a bad diagnosis, whether it's in losing a job. God is still God and God is still good. And so I want to thank you guys for watching Truth and Love, because this is an encouragement to myself that I'm going to play back. At some point, I'm going to have to. Just to encourage myself and let myself remember, no matter what happens in life, no matter how high or low I get, God is still God. God is still in control. His ways and thoughts are so much beyond ours. I can rely on him. I can rest in him. In those moments when I need to cry, when I need to just scream, when I need to be angry, I can rest in God and know that he's sitting right beside me. He's going through it with me. He's holding my hand. And so be encouraged. God is still good. No matter what the situation is, God is still good. Thank you for watching Truth and Love. Talk to you later.